And we are live. A new episode of Justin in the Jungle. I think it's episode 6 or 7. I don't know. I can't count that high. Um yeah, got a new couple new things on the mic, got some new headphones, got a new light. Still don't got a backdrop yet. Um After my rant on Sunday night, I needed to have a change of scenery. So I left the jungle for this episode for right now, and I am actually coming to you live from Whiteside Evergreens in Marysville, Ohio, the official Christmas tree of Justin in the Jungle. Go ahead and check them out on that banner going down there. So I finally get to do it. I'm going to figure out how to edit this, but I do have a Cardinals fan coming on here after a bit on this episode. And we have a funny story about how we met. And it's pretty funny. So I can't wait to share that with you. I wish I was sharing better news with you guys, but it looks like we're playing Joe Burrow again. Apparently, my podcast hasn't got to the Bengals front office yet. So if we can work on that, maybe like, subscribe, share. Yeah, we're playing him this Sunday, which makes absolutely no sense to me at all. It's the Cardinals, and I'm not taking anything away from the Cardinals now. Like they beat Dallas, and there for a while they were running with San Francisco. And honestly, man, San Francisco might be, in my opinion, the sleeper that could end up winning the Super Bowl. I don't know what the odds are on that, but they might be higher than any other parlay I've given you. So yeah, the Cardinals ran with them. So I definitely don't think that this is a give me game by any chance. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, I listened to the press conference today with Burrow, and I'll be honest, man, it was, and I might be wrong, but it seems like a lot of ego. It seems like a lot of ego with him right now. A lot of we have to do whatever we have to do to win this game. I do. I mean, I like the sense of urgency, but my thing is like, again, we're running a limited playbook with him. Our tape's so much easier to study with him. Check downs are coming with him. We're 1-3. And here's my thing. We could be 1-3 with Jake Browning. Easily. We win that game against the Rams with Jake Browning. I've said it a million times. That was the best our defense looked, and everybody was playing. And so imagine that. All of these games we've had Browning playing. We're going into Arizona 1-3 with Browning, but you've had a chance to let Burrow sit for 3 weeks, 4 weeks now. Actually, more than that, since week 1 of spring training camp. Sorry, spring training. It's not baseball. But yeah, we could have still had him sitting. Hell, even sitting next week against Seattle and end of the bye week. Joe Burrow comes back. Plenty of weeks rested after bye week. We could be 1-5. And who knows? We easily could be that situation. But you have a healthy Joe Burrow who is known for years past to just go on runs of winning streaks. And now we're pretty much in the same predicament we would have been but we're playing a banged up quarterback. And Taylor just he doesn't have the respect of his players if he's letting them determine if they're going to play or not. Like, okay, the locker room likes you. We know that. We get that. But are you? I don't know. And I know my brother and I talked about this, and he said, he's like, hey, a lot of coaches would be the same way. And he's right, perhaps. But I don't know. I think we've handled this whole thing wrong. I think we're hitting the panic button now when we could have easily been in the same situation if we would have just played it safer, more safe, whatever. And to add insult to injury, now you have Tee Higgins not healthy. Best case scenario, 1 fractured rib. And his quote today was, it's basically up to me if I'm going to play or not. And everything that Higgins has done for us, and it's looking, more and more like he's not going to be a Bengal next year, which is, I hate to see. He is, my favorite player on that offense. I've liked him from his rookie year. Obviously he can go be a number 1 receiver on 90% of NFL teams. So I want him, to go get that bag, get paid, get everything you deserve, T. And now he has to play because he wants the best stats he can get for come contract negotiations. He's hurt. Burrow's hurt. And we don't have a coach that can just tell these guys, sit. Just let's get to bye week. Because like I said, yes, the Cardinals can beat us. But I do think, this game is, the Bengals know this. Like you saw Burrow today when they asked him if they think this is a must win. He didn't even let the guy get his question out before he interrupted him and said, yes, it's definitely a must win. So I love seeing that. I love the importance of the game. And I love that I like that they have that mindset now. Because this is usually when they play their best ball. Last year and the year before, like I said last episode, like anytime Joe Burrow had a bounce back game, you were excited. Like the best thing about our losses in years past was you got that Joe Burrow coming back next week. And you knew it was guaranteed wins. I talked to the boys over on Dirty Sports. I think it was when a bounce back game against Carolina. And I was like, and there was only like a 9-point spread or something. They were like, that is way too. I was like, it's not high enough. Joe Burrow is going to destroy that team. And in years past, I would look at this game coming up against a not so tough Cardinals team, but a Cardinals team that can hold their own as they've shown. But it was just like, oh man, fantasy wise, everything on Burrow. What's coming up. What Burrow is going to do. And now it's interesting, man. I mean, somehow he said today that he felt the best he's ever felt after that game last week, health-wise. And how? They just put him on the ground so many times. Vrabel said F you. F your couch. We're coming in there for you. We're sending the house. And they lived in that backfield. It was ugly. And like I said, that was the most upset I've ever been with the Bengals organization and my entire fandom. And it's not that that was the worst we've ever looked, because it wasn't. We have looked awful at times. But that game was just proving to the team and the fans that they don't care. You forgot who is running this team, who is coaching this team. But that's because of Joe Burrow. And when they had him still in there, down 24 with 6-7 minutes left in the game, with all the money invested, like, that is the most Bengals thing that the Bengals have done in a long time. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This week it's challenging. It's challenging to think about, what are they going to do? What team's going to show up? Is this going to be Burrow's comeback game? Whatever. But yeah, they had videos of practice today, and they're like, he looks more mobile than he ever has this season. And that's not saying much. It's not saying much at all. He's just been, the check downs all the time. And he even said, he was like, the one thing that I can't do, the couple things that he can't do are extend the play or run out of the pocket and get a pass that way. And those are two of the best things that Burrow does. So you took the two. That's like saying, yeah, it's like having a Prius in a blizzard. It's like, yeah, my car can drive, but it doesn't have 4-wheel drive. And it's light, so it's going to slide. So it's not a good car to have in the situation. And that's Burrow right now, in my opinion. But who knows? I could be wrong. I could be, I would love to eat crow. And I just want to make it clear, I'm not a Burrow hater by any means. The reason I'm so upset is because I like Burrow so much. I think Burrow has definitely brought something to this team that we have never seen before. And we've had nightmare years, and it's been so nice being arguably top 3 team in the AFC the past 2-3 years. And it's scary to think that we could easily go back to, we weren't even mediocre for years. So I don't know. Definitely interesting situation. I'm intrigued to see how the week's going to go. I would love if Higgins would sit, but being contract year, he's trying to get paid next year. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're all going to play, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So now's the part where I'm going to edit this. I'm going to come back with a guest, Tyler McCoy, buddy from Phoenix, Arizona. And he, he's a Cardinals fan. So I want to talk to him, see how he thinks the game's going to go, see where he thinks they're going to win, how they could win, what they have to do, and we'll chit chat about the game. So we'll be back here on Justin in the Jungle. All right, and we are back with the promised guest, Tyler McCoy, coming to us from Phoenix, Arizona. How you doing, Tyler?
Good. It's my podcast debut here, so wish me luck.
I love it. I love that I
Yeah,
stole you from Dirty Sports, and you're doing my podcast before theirs.
absolutely. I've called in a few times there, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, I'm way cooler anyway. But the cool thing about me and Tyler, I told you guys I had a funny story, is I was opening for Joe Prano from the Dirty Sports at House of Comedy in Arizona, and Tyler was there, and Tyler, I was like, "Oh, McCoy, that's crazy. My mom's a McCoy. My whole family's McCoys. Obviously, if my mom's a McCoy, but I was like, yeah, my bloodline goes right straight back to West Virginia to the McCoys and Hatfields." And Tyler was like, "Wait, my bloodline goes straight back to there." So obviously, we're cousins somewhere. We might be like a few.
Somewhere along the line,
Yeah, like definitely one of my cousins banged your cousin or something. And here we are.
Oh yeah, that's in West Virginia. Yeah, that's what happens in West Virginia.
Yeah. So, and that's how we end up on a Bengals podcast. So,
Absolutely, here we are.
congratulations. Let's get into it, buddy.
All right.
First off, what do you think about your Cardinals this year?
So obviously going into the season, there were little to no expectations. We were, kind of in the Caleb Williams hunt. We still are. We're only one win this year. But they played better than I thought they would. I thought that every game was going to be an absolute disaster. And with the exception of last week against the Niners, they've played everybody close and even, got a win against the Cowboys, which if you would have said in their first 4 games, they're going to win one, that's the last game I would have picked. So
yeah, I was even saying that last week, you guys ran with them there for a while. Like there for a while, it was a ball game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And the Niners are my. I think right now they're the front runners for the Super Bowl. In my opinion,
top 3. Yeah, easily top 3 easily. They're just a complete team, and I don't know. I think they've shown. I think it was, they have Brock Purdy in at quarterback, and they're still. What's their win streak at now? Regular season win streak?
I try not to remember.
It's
a
lot,
Bengals fan, I don't like to keep up with the Niners. But no, you guys ran with them. You guys beat Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas beat the brakes off the Giants. Then you guys come along. You guys are doing this with your backup quarterback. So I was even saying before you came on, I was like, this isn't a gimme for the Bengals. Like the way we've been playing and the way you guys have been playing, like not at all is just a gimme. And
no, before the season, I would have said it was. Before the season, I would have said the Bengals are, a top-tier team. The Cardinals are a bottom-tier team, and this game should not be close. But, here we are a month later, and things change.
Dude, I usually am excited about Joe Burrow bounce-back games, but I've been a big advocate on Burrow shouldn't even be playing right now. And now Tee Higgins has a cracked rib, and he said it's basically up to me if I'm going to play. So our coach doesn't even have control of our players anymore. So
right. Who is your backup quarterback now?
It is Jake Browning.
Jake Browning, University of Washington.
University legend. And you know what? Go. I do think we could be 1-3 with him right now, and with Burrow 4 weeks rested. So So
absolutely.
So usually this is like, an easy conversation, but with the Bengals this year, like it's a different playbook. It's a limited playbook. So like, tell me as a Cardinals fan, what wins the game for you guys this week?
So the Cardinals, I have 3 things that I think the Cardinals need to do to take this game. First one that I have is that they need to establish a run game. The Cardinals, their passing offense isn't too great. We still got Josh Dobbs back there, and he's looked okay, but, he's not an elite passing quarterback. But we do have an above-average run game. James Conner's, going to get the ball the vast majority of the time.
Right.
Keontae Ingram's going to be that, he's going to be the second back in the system. And Josh Dobbs even can get his run game going a little bit. Your Bengals, your run D is not the best. Right? Yeah, you guys are giving up it's a 5.1 yards per carry. That's not too great. And your pass defense is solid. So I think the Cardinals really need to establish that D or establish that run game. Our O-line is definitely before the season, I thought it was going to be terrible. But our first-round pick was Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. He's actually looked pretty solid. He was opening up some big holes for
of course, he's
for us this week. Yeah, of course he's a Buckeye, but yeah, he was opening up some big holes for the first couple of weeks there. So I like the direction the O line is headed right now. I like how our run matches up against your run defense. I think that's what we need to really do.
Okay.
Second one, I think they need to take care of the football. I know it's the biggest cliche in the history of the game, but Josh Dobbs hasn't thrown an interception this year, and that's huge for us.
Yeah,
No
I didn't even
interceptions.
realize that.
Yeah, hasn't thrown a pick. He has lost 2 fumbles. He's put the ball on the ground a couple times. He's only lost 2, but he's a smart quarterback. I know if you've watched any Cardinals, the announcers say it 5 million times a game. Like, this guy has an aerospace engineering degree. He's a rocket scientist. So he's smart, and he makes smart decisions with the football.
Right.
He passes 70. He completes 70% of his throws. So I really think that if he takes care of the football, he makes smart decisions. The Cardinals can go out there and win it. Punting's not going to be an issue for the Cardinals. The way your Bengals are playing, again, I don't want to disrespect your Bengals.
No, that's what you're here for.
If we can get Burrow and co to have to march 80 plus yards every single time, I don't know how many points they can run up the way they've looked this year.
Right.
The Cardinals seem to squeak out some points. Don't do anything too risky. Don't be going for it on 4th and 4 on your own 40-yard line, like that kind of thing. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they just need to be smart. And my last key for the Cardinals here is they can't read Greek mythology. I'm not sure how in tune you are with it, but the legend of the Phoenix is that the Phoenix bird dies, it rises from the ashes, and it creates a better version. Of course, the Bengals are flying into Phoenix this week. I think your offense and Joe Burrow are currently dead, and I hope they don't rise from the ashes and take it to the Cardinals this week. So luckily, the game's in Glendale, not Phoenix. But there's my fun key. Yeah,
I like it. For me, it's Joe Mixon again.
Mm-hmm.
if he can help us, and offensive line. Our offensive line we've had our moments, but are you going to let Burrow? How long can Burrow hang out in that pocket? You let him hang out for a little bit. He's got. I would think so. Like I said, I don't even like him playing, but I would hope eventually he has his bounce back game.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen at some point.
Now, is that going to be this week, or is this going to be? I don't know if you saw the interview I talked about earlier on the show, where one of the announcers during his press conference today asked him, "Do you guys think that this is a must-win?" And before he even got the whole sentence out, Joe was like, "Yes, it's a must-win game. Like, this is our season." And I do think that's where his ego's getting in the way of safety. Like I said, if we have to just chalk up a losing season to keep a franchise generational talent quarterback, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
But if they're going to play him this week, it's the offensive line. I mean, Jesus, Tennessee lived in our Burrow. That was.
I mean, that's kind of been the knock on the Bengals since their Super Bowl run a couple of years back. Has always been just that offensive line and just getting Burrow. Burrow gets touched too much, right?
Yeah, but that's why everyone's calling for Pollock's job now. Is every season in the offseason, we sign these offensive linemen. We're like, like Orlando Brown Jr. We're like, oh, there he is. There's our missing piece for next season. And then it gets to next season and nothing happens. So I do see a lot of Bengals on the chat boards now talking about, Pollock needs to go. So that, and I think something that's been underestimated has been our defensive line. Like against the run, we haven't been great, but we've gotten a few sacks. Like they've gotten in there. So if our two lines can show up, I think it's a ball game. And it is funny, like going into this season, like I was on the sports gambling podcast in the beginning, and this was one game I was like, yeah, this is our bye week. Like this game, this is just going to be simple. But now it's like you guys are showing up all of a sudden. We're not showing up, and this could be the game. If you guys win this game, Bengals fans we'll probably just go back into hibernating until next season. So
Oh, if hypothetically the Cardinals do pull this one out, you would fully be on board. Let's shut down Joe Burrow till he's 110% healthy, right?
I'm on that bandwagon right now. Like I'm driving that bandwagon. Like Tyler, it's like I have always said, like if we would have just sat him right now Jake Browning could have us 1-3 right now.
Right.
In those 4 games, you have Burrow still resting from training camp, and then we have Seattle next week, and then a bye week. Like if we were smart, we would have started this week with him on the IR, and then come back after bye week. Our record wouldn't be drastically different regardless. So, but yes, if we lose this week, you're going to hear me swearing up and down on this podcast on the recap episode. So.
Absolutely. And I would not blame you at all for it.
All right. But hey, Tyler, I want to thank you for coming on. I'm going to get going. You are my first guest on here, so it was only right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where can people find you at, Tyler?
If you have any interest at all on some terrible sports opinions, I'm mostly active on Twitter, or X, I guess it's called now. It's not Tyler McCoy, NOTTYLER MCCOY. It's going to be a lot of Diamondbacks for the moment. The Diamondbacks are in the playoffs right now, so that's kind of my main priority. Cardinals are a little underneath at the moment, but if they beat the Brewers, they get to lose to the Dodgers next week, so it probably won't be for much longer.
But almost like the Cardinals, did anyone expect the Diamondbacks to even be playing right now?
Oh, not
coming
at
into
all.
this season.
No,
this has been
Nope. Arizona sports. Hopefully we're on the come up a little bit. That's the goal. So it's been a rough couple years for us.
Yeah, for sure. Trust me, I
Except
get
for
it.
The Suns, but
yeah. Oh yeah. You guys are spoiled there. So
absolutely.
All right, Tyler. Well, it was great talking to you, and I'm gonna go ahead and sign this off.
You as well, my friend. Thank you.
All right. I want to once again thank Tyler McCoy for coming on, cousin Tyler. And you can follow him on social media at not Tyler McCoy. Definitely very opinionated on sports. And also follow his jiu-jitsu journey. It's been pretty cool watching him from the beginning, working his way up. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening today. Big game on Sunday. We'll see how this goes. Was pretty cool hearing a perspective from another fan of the opposite team. And so from me to you guys, have a blessed rest of your week and hoo day.